H2O Hero.
Welcome back to CBS Sports Extra. Joe Musso and Sara Hodges, joined by the always dapper Damian Barling. What we don't get to see on radio, what we are not privy to, is the sharp duds. Always bringing it, Damian.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Damian, we talk about the Kings. I think what sets this young Kings team apart is the depth that they have in the squad. Any given night, a player can come in, put up points. If one guy maybe isn't having a great night, somebody is there to pick him up. How long has it been since you've seen a Kings team with this amount of depth?
Oh, I hate to go back. I hate to.
You're taking the Shump approach.
Yeah,
it's the scores. We're starting from 0-0.
I hate to go. No, what I really hate to do is to go back to the team that everybody knows and loves, which is that 2001-2002 team, because really there hasn't been any depth since then. And I think where the depth comes from this Sacramento Kings team is the fact that there isn't right now a superstar. De'Aaron Fox will be one, and I'm positive in that. De'Aaron Fox will be a superstar, but there's not right now. So occasionally, I mean, Buddy Hield is playing like a superstar right now, but the ability to share the ball and the style of offense that they run, when you think back to those Phoenix Suns teams that Mike D'Antoni had, even when you think back...
Scoring 140 a night.
Exactly, but that's what made Sean Merriman a star. When you look around, that's what made Amari Stoudemire. That's what got Amari Stoudemire that deal in New York, was the way he played with Mike D'Antoni. When you look around and you see, you know, a history of the teams that run, all the players benefit from it because you're getting up and down the floor, equal distribution of the ball. No one's worried about getting theirs that night. They're just trying to get the win and get the points.
Moving the ball around well.
Exactly. I think one of the things that's really unique about this group is not only the development of the front court, but the ability to run by these guys. We're now seeing Harry Giles get up and down the court. We're seeing Marvin Bagley develop, and we're seeing Willie Cauley-Stein in a contract year doing his thing as well. What do you make of this rotation and how coach is trotting these guys out there?
Willie Cauley-Stein is tailor-made for De'Aaron Fox. When there was this conversation about Zach Randolph and Enes Kanter earlier in the week, there was like, oh, you know, Kanter can rebound. There's a lot that he can do, but he can't run. So what's it going to be like when they have the ball on offense? How is Kanter going to run? Willie, for his position, is tailor-made for the way that De'Aaron Fox plays and for the way that Dave Yeager coaches. I love that Harry Giles just, you know, I thought he had a breakout game a couple of nights ago. And Marvin Bagley, to me, should be starting. Marvin Bagley should be in the starting lineup, and I feel like it's only a matter of time before he is. Now, we're halfway through the season, so maybe that's not going to be Dave Yeager's approach. But Marvin Bagley in that position will be equally as effective in terms of running up and down the court as Willie Cauley-Stein is.
So we know that this team can score. We see them put up points. But defense. Defense has been the Achilles heel. We've heard the guys say it in the locker room, how, you know, they're just frustrated because defensively they're lacking. They need to create those stops so then they can put even more points up. How have you seen the defense sort of move this season, progress?
I haven't. I mean, with the exception, like De'Aaron Fox, you know, my colleague and the color analyst for Kings games, Doug Christie, he's been screaming for De'Aaron Fox to get a shot at an all-NBA defensive team.
Absolutely.
And for a guy who's starting to have a trademark defensive play, which is that chase down block like he had the other night, it's becoming harder and harder to argue, especially when you look around the league and you go, okay, who at his position is better than he is? You know, the guys that are, Chris Paul in and out of the lineup, Patrick Beverley's been gone for the entire year. So the guys that you know immediately that are better than De'Aaron Fox, they're not playing enough. And then you start looking around the rest of the league and you go, I could argue De'Aaron. I could argue De'Aaron. And all of a sudden, you're running out of names to argue and go, yeah, De'Aaron Fox might be one of the best defending point guards in the entire league.
And at that position, when you talk about guys like Fox and your last night, he got matched up against Charlotte's Kemba Walker. You're getting one of the best there. No one is as long as De'Aaron Fox, and I think that allows him to be really special at the defensive end and create those fast break opportunities that he has. Just one more here on the Kings before we do touch on some NFL, but we do it every time you're in here, and usually when we come visit you as well, but we like to shift expectation. With 40 roughly to go, what is your barometer for success now that you are seeing this team that is putting it together a little bit?
Yeah, we had a conversation similar to this on the lowdown earlier this week, and it was, what does Utah look like? You just had the graphic of where Utah is and where the Lakers are, and you start to ask, okay, what does it look like? Do the Lakers slip? Does Utah slip? And does Sacramento keep playing this way? Because if those two teams slip and Sacramento has a grasp at that playoff spot, that's success.
That's the success.
That's success. But if they continue to play 500 basketball, which is essentially what they have been, I think, you know, it was 20 and 21 at the half, so it would have been 40. If they continue to play 500 basketball and those teams continue to excel, you just be happy with as consistent of a season as you could possibly get from the Sacramento Kings.
So opportunity dictates success.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right, so let's shift our attention to the NFL. We were on your show a few weeks back, and we were picking which teams we thought were going to make the playoffs. Joe has something he wants to brag about, but we'll talk about that in a little bit.
I'm going to be the last guy to quit on the Patriots, is all, okay?
I didn't quit on the Patriots.
Sign me up on
now
that.
let's be fair about what the segment was. The college football 4 had just come out, the playoffs. So we said, what if they did that in the NFL?
Right.
Well, at the time, the Texans were one of the hottest teams in football.
Yeah.
That's true. I was with you.
Everybody in the room left the Texans out except for me.
Did I not pick the Texans?
And obviously that didn't pan out very well for me. You put the Patriots in. I don't think I had the Patriots in there. I was, you know, again, there were teams that were just on fire at the time. Yeah. But yeah, that probably a bad look after today.
It's all right.
I was just going to say, so we have the 5 teams left standing. Your final 2.
The game that's still going on, the Eagles and the Saints, I said I think the winner of that game is going to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I didn't think the Rams were going to get past the Cowboys. So I think the winner of the Eagles and the Saints is going to the Super Bowl. I had picked the Saints before the season, and I am a unapologetic Patrick Mahomes lover. My Super Bowl pick
You are Mr. Mahomes.
Before the year was the Chargers and the Saints. So I can't have that one. So I'm going with my guy Patrick Mahomes, and my MVP for the season was Drew Brees. So I'll be happy with that Super Bowl and happy with whoever wins.
Yeah,
Kansas City's defense showed up against the Colts.
They absolutely did, and like we've seen in years past, kind of chalk in the NFL right now, but it's going to be an exciting championship weekend nonetheless. DB, you're one of a kind. If you don't already, check him out alongside Jason Ross weekdays from noon to 3 on KHTK. Damian Barling, thanks again.
I appreciate you.
All right, well, coming up, Fear the Fin. The Sharks are on a roll this season. They have yet to lose in the new year, winning 6 straight. Can they keep it going? More coming up in Sports Extra.